Hey, this is Mandu here from No Sleep Creative. Today we're gonna recreate this scene from Andrew Vucko's film From Nothing to Something. This is a multi-part tutorial and we'll focus on making the background today. I hope you love the show. Before I begin, I just want you to know that I have launched a Patreon page. If you want to support me in making more tutorials like this, do consider making a monthly donation. In return, I'm giving you After Effects project files, animation presets, and even a mentoring option if you're interested. If you'd like to make a smaller donation, you can Venmo me whatever you want. I spent about 15 hours on this tutorial. Perhaps you can return the love by buying me a coffee. All the links are in the description below. Anyway, let's analyze the scene we're making today in real time and at a slower speed. What did you notice? I was able to stitch the whole scene into one long composition and I observed three elements we need to make. Number 1, we have the fake 3D ball built with the CC Sphere effect. Number 2, we have the word rand made in Adobe Illustrator. Lastly, we have the wall of inspiration background, which can be further split into 3 parts. The random color changing text and text boxes, which become a row of text, and from there we can create 3 other variants. Combine all of them together and you have the background. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Now that we understand how everything works, let's begin this tutorial. In After Effects, create a composition that's 620 by 130, 24 frames per second and 10 seconds long. Click OK, and you want to create a solid as your background layer and then type in the word inspiration. So first of all, go to New, Now Object, and we're going to type in Control as our layer name, and we're going to add in a couple of slider control and color control. You can go to Effect, and it's under Expression Control, which is over here, and we can drop on a color control over here, and you want to Command D to make it have at least 8. I have already prepared all my colors, so I'm just gonna paste it in here. So you gotta make sure that your first color control has the number 1 in it, because we're generating a random number to access its color controls. And then we're gonna go into Effect, Expression Control, Slider Control, and we're gonna type choice underscore BG, and we're gonna duplicate the slider and just make it to choice underscore text. To generate the random number, we can use an expression, option click on the slider, and we can type seed is equals to, you can grab a random number, so maybe 37, and then seed random, 30, so seed, comma, false, semicolon, math.ceil, parentheses, random, parentheses 8. So what this does, it will generate a random number, and then math.c will make it a whole number, so there'll be no decimal. So if I were to play every frame, you can see that it's at a different number. And then we want to copy this and do the same thing for choice text. And so just paste it in here, and I'm just gonna, but here's the thing, we want it to be a different number at all times. So it can be the same number. So we gotta write an additional statement. So let's first of all get our choice BG value. So choice BG is equals to pick whip to our slider control, semicolon, and we type our own choice underscore text is equals to math.ceil over here. Let's just put this seed random on top so it's cleaner. And then we're gonna write a while statement. So while, this statement is true, so while the choice text value is same as the choice of the background, and what's it gonna do? It's gonna generate a random number. And once it's not the same, it will stop. So I can just put this over here. So, and then now I were to click outside, right? And you can see if I were to go through each frame, it has a different value, and it will never be the same. Now, once we have this random number, we can connect it to our color controls. And we want to go and add in a fill for our text and our background. I'm going to use After Effects. I'm going to use this FX console to easily add effects from here on. So I'm going to add a fill and also onto the background. Option click on the color and we want to type in choice is equals to, and let's select our null layer, and then let's pick whip our data, which is the BG, semicolon, and then we create a new variable S is equals to double quote, color control, space, plus choice, semicolon, and then we're gonna add in a color control. Any color control we find, we just need to replace the name from color control 1 to S. So if I play every frame, it's just gonna get a random color from a color control. We want to copy this and do the same thing for a field, for a text field. Option click on the color stopwatch, paste it in, and this time we are going to change from choice BG to, actually let me move this up, choice BG to choice underscore text. And now if I play every frame, we get different color combination. So what you want to do next is to render this out as an MOV so we can use it to build our row of text in the next part. Once you render the animation out, let's create a new composition by hitting Command N, and let's change the width to 6200. And then we want to name this comp to be 02 underscore row underscore A underscore 1. So we're going to create at least 15 rows of text. Click OK, and we're going to drop in the render we made over here. And if I play a flicker, very cool. And we just want to align it to the left using Align Panel. And we want to duplicate 10 of them. I have at least 10 of them, right? And grab the last one and align to the right. So it'll be like this. And you want to grab all of them, or you can Command A, and you want to make sure it's align layers to selection and distribute horizontally. So you can see everything is tiled perfectly. Now we want to create new now object, and then let's call this control. And we're going to add in the slider control. We're going to add in the slider control, and we're going to call it C. And then because right now everything's flickering, at every single frame, I want it to flicker at on and off, have random color at different random intervals for each tile, each sprite. So we can create a seed first, and then we can go into our timer mapping. So go to right click on your sprite, time, enable time remapping. And we are going to use this expression that I wrote. So if you option click on a time remap and paste this in over here, so this expression will be available on my website, and the link is in the description below. This. So if I were to let me just copy it and then demonstrate to you across to other layers. Okay. So once I paste this expression, you notice that everything is changing color at different speed at a random interval. So this is actually a modification of Dan's Abbott flickering expression. And you can check out his website in the link in the description below. And if you want to mess around with the timing, you can actually you can open up the expression and change the sec minimum, the sec min, and the sec max, or you can play around with the flicker duration. You can connect them to a slider and see what happens. So that's something for you to explore. So with that, we have created our row of text. And if you're not satisfied with the colors, right, you can go to the seed over here. That's why I created this control over here. I'm gonna name it green and label it green. And if I to change it, I can change the color of our row of text just like that with the seed control. Maybe you want to start off the scene with more white background, or maybe more pink, so you can use the seed to create variants. I'm going to set it for 1 right now, and then so we have our first row of text, and we're going to duplicate 6 more of these, so we're going to have 7. And if you were to double click and say the number 7 and compare it to number 6, you can see that if it's too similar, you can just grab the control and change the seed. Next, we're going to create a second type of row text that involve having the text randomly sliding down. Let's duplicate row A, and then let's rename it to row underscore B1. Let's double click on it. The first thing you want to do is grab all of the sprites, Command D, and duplicate it, and then put it on top. I'm going to just color this yellow, so this will be the one that's sliding down. And on top of our slider control, we can add, let's actually create a new now object for our control. Let's call this aux underscore y. And I'm going to add in, first of all, I'm going to animate the position. I'm going to split the position of the, I'm going to split the position of the now layer. And I'm going to animate the position from going from negative 65 and down for 12 frames. It's going to go back to 65. I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to keyframe assistant easy ease, and I'm going to make use of this animation data. And also I want to add in the slide control for now on the now layer. So I'm going to add in one that's called duration and another one called seed. Okay, so let's right click on the position of our sprite, and then let's separate dimension and option click on the Y position, and let's grab our seed, and then let's pick with it, and let's also grab our duration. So let's call it dir is equals to, and then we're gonna write seed random seed comma true, and then semicolon, and then what we want to do is also grab our value. So we want to offset the time. Let's call it t is equals to random dir semicolon, and then I'm gonna pick with the value of my now layers y position, type in dot value at time plus t. Okay, and then next I'm gonna just change the duration to -8. I'm gonna solo this sprite, and you can see what's gonna happen next. So it's going to, let's see, sorry, I gotta make sure it's somewhere here. Let's play it. So it's actually randomly accessing the Y position. It's getting the animation data at random timing. So apparently it seems to show up somewhere here, and you can see that there's no keyframe at all. If I were to copy this Y position and paste it over onto my other sprite layers, and then let's play it and see what happens, and unsolo it. Actually, no, let me solo all the sprites. You can see it's randomly sliding down, and all it takes is just 2 keyframe and one line of code, a few lines of code. I play it. And then so what we want to do is unsolo this and just turn it off. And then you can see it's like we have this sliding. We have created our second variant of our row of text. So let's just do some housekeeping and label our aux now layer to green. And we're going to create, we're just going to duplicate this row B about 3 times. So we have like a total of 4 of them. And we're going to create our final variant, row C. Let's duplicate B, row B, right? And let's rename it to row C underscore 1. So this one will involve having the slide, the text box opening up to review another one. And what we can do is we can still keep aux-y. We're just gonna hide it for now. We don't want to see it, and we're gonna create another one called aux-x. And we're gonna put it somewhere here, and we're gonna rename it to aux underscore x. So we can rename the slider controls for aux-x to from duration to x, and the second one to be choice. And what we want to do is, and using the same technique, we are going to actually, let's get rid of this y position and let's get our x position, and we're going to animate our x going from 0, from 0, and then for down 12 frames it's going to go into 310. And let's select both of them, right click, keyframe assistant easy ease, and let's get the position. We need a duplicate of this. So this this bunch of sprites will be the one that would be underneath. Let's put it above, change the color to blue, and then we are going to option click on the position. I'm going to separate the dimension of the sprite first. Option click on the X position of the sprite layer, and we are going to select our now layer so we can access the slider control. I'm going to type X is equals to pick width, slider control, semicolon, choice is equals to, and do the same thing. And then we're going to make use of the layer index number to trigger the animation, but we need the layer number to start at layer index to start at 1. Right now it's at 14. We can cheat by typing my index is equals to index minus this now layer, which is x.index. So if you do the math, 14 minus 13 equals to 1. And if you apply this expression to the rest of the sprite, as long as it's underneath the now layer, it will be in correct sequence, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. And we're going to write an if statement if my index is less than choice. All right, what's it going to do is value minus x, and then curly bracket, else curly bracket, value plus x. So if the choice, if I'm basically how it works is that I'm selecting a random layered number. So it could be here, and everything here should move to the left. The select and everything towards the right, well, will move to the right. So I'm just gonna copy this expression. So when you copy this expression, you want to go into edit. No, sorry, a layer. Yes, actually, edit, copy expression only, because you don't want to copy the original the value and paste it onto the rest of the blue sprites. Okay, so and then next thing I'm gonna do is to actually animate the position. Actually, I should grab this X position onto the slider. So I can just do that right now. So I'm gonna just put a keyframe on my slider control and just transfer the value from the position to the slider. Command X and then Command V. And then I can just press U to show animated key properties. So you can see right now my choice is set to 0, which is somewhere here. Let's just say if I set the choice to number 7, and I can just solo this layer, solo the blue layer, so you can see it's going to open up. And the fun part is that I can just change the layer order. I mean, I can change the choice, let's just say change it to 8, and I'll still retain the animation, timing, and speed. And there's only 2 keyframes to work with. So it's very good if to create variants using this expression. And then since it's revealing, we need to go behind, right? If you can see that it's not aligned properly, so you want to select everything, including the yellow layers. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. So let's select everything and deselect the blue layers, and then we're gonna just align it to. We're just gonna align it properly towards the left, and just make sure it stacks properly. So this is the one that. So I'm moving the X position of the text of the sprite that is on top. And also underneath. Okay, so this will be perfect. And then you can Command Shift H to review the bounding boxes. It seems to be it seems all right. And let's see. Now let me unsolo the layers and let's test our animation. Let's play it. All right, and then it should. Oh, sorry. The animation happened at the first second. So if I were to play it, see, it reviews. Very cool. And then if I were to just review the yellow layers, which is the one coming down, you can see that we've combined both we've combined both techniques over here. And if you want to just change the timing, you can just move the aux Y. So maybe it takes a while before revealing. So once it open up, and it takes a while to reveal, to slide down, have the text sliding down. One thing to keep in mind is that when you have the Y sliding down first, and then X and the X opening up, right? You can see it misaligned. So you can either move the keyframe, you can realign the layers so that to allow you to have the text slide down then open up, or just have it open up first, then slide down. And again, you can change the color of the control. You can change the colors by using the C control, the C slider that we created early on. So this is our final variant, and now we can go to our project panel and duplicate three more of it. So we have a total of 15 rows of text and we're ready for the final part. Once you have prepared all your row of text, create a new composition, Full HD, 24 frames per second, around 4 seconds long. So I already created one with all my markers and guides to help me with the timing and animation. And you want to grab all your row of text composition, put it in here, and you can align panel. If you align it vertically, right, over here, let's actually grab selection. So first of all, you need to grab row number 1 and just align it to the top, right? If you were to select all of them and then distribute layer vertically, what happens is that you get this it doesn't tile perfectly. So we got to grab our last layer and then press P and then change the Y position from 540. Let's add 130 times 10. So and then because the height of each row is 130, so I'm gonna select all of them. Oops, Spotify. Select all of them, and then go to my align panel, and then I'm just gonna select distribute layer, distribute vertically, and everything will tile perfectly. And now our next step is to offset it in the x-axis, and we can do so with a now layer and some expression. So create a new now object, name it control, and I'm just gonna label it green, and then I'm gonna add in two-sided control. The first one will be called X, and the second one will be called C. And we can go into our row, and we can separate dimension as well. So you know the drill. Let's option click on the X, and we're just gonna get our value. Slide control X. Oh, make sure it's X is equals to the slide control and semicolon C is equals to, and then let's grab the value and semicolon seed random seed comma true semicolon value plus and then random X. So if I were to just increase the X value to, let's put it 300, and then I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy my expression and paste it onto the rest of the row. You can see everything has been offset randomly. And if I'm not satisfied, I can just grab the seed and just change the value and to get different variants. So I kind of like what we had over here. Next, we're going to animate the rows of text opening up to review more rows of text. So we're going to have the last three layer be the one that's hidden. Let's label it red and going to rename it RGB so we can identify them easily. And to make things easier, I'm going to add in a fill, right? Because everything looks so similar, I'm going to add a fill too so I can see my hidden layers easily and change the second one to green. And let's copy it and paste it to our last one, blue. And then over here, click OK. And let's also position this layer to be in the middle. So all my other 12 rows of text to be in the middle. Okay, so we can ignore last three for now. And we want to first open up probably somewhere here, because I'm gonna put my guides over here. And you want to grab that the hidden row of text and just put it in the middle. Actually align to the guide that we created. So it's kind of hard to see because there's so many things going on. So somewhere here. Okay, and then let's select, let's press P to get a position, and let's put a keyframe for the Y position, and let's move this keyframe to at the time 0 and go down 12 frames, right? And we're just gonna select everything that's before. Let's see, to make our life easier, let's see, we're gonna grab the ones at the bottom, move it down. You can see we're revealing it. So let's just line it properly like that. So this will take a lot of patience, and so take your time. Just shift it up. There we go. So let's play it and see what happens. Nice. I mean, obviously we can easy ease the keyframe, but the concept is there. So we're gonna repeat the process for 2 more times to review the two other rows of text. Nice. And all we have to do now is to do animate everything opening up from the middle, and we're gonna set a keyframe for everything at a Y position. I guess yep. Just select everything and animate the Y position so it holds, and then it opens up. So actually, it opens up here. So around here is when it's done. So now we're gonna open it up somewhere from the red one here. Command Shift H to show my layer control. So I'm gonna grab all, oops, deselect everything first. Select everything, and the red one, and go down. And then we can select the rest and push it outwards. So maybe this one could be somewhere here. Okay. And then let's just play it and see what happens. So it's gonna open up 3 times, and then open up for the final time. And now we can just select all the keyframes, and we can go keyframe assistant, easy ease. I'll leave it up to you to play with the speed graph to get the best timing. And we can play it. And it opens up. And let's do some tidying up. Let's get rid of the fill by removing the FX from our last 3 layer. And so we're done making the background. And to kind of just show you how I made a preview animation, what I did was that I have my text layer, right? I have this animation of like the uninspired. Just using text animator and weekly selector, I made it jitter up and down and rotate. And then, so I place it in my com, so somewhere around here. So let me just solo it. Okay, on my uninspired, and I also have a background to go with it. So I'm just align it like that. It might add this marker and unsolo it. So as it opens up, actually opens up early, so I should have moved this here. So when I play it, it opens up and it reviews the text. And I might need to work on the timing of my opening up. So it could be faster. And what you want to do to get that warp is to create a new adjustment layer. And then I'm gonna name it warp and add in the effect, well, warp. And I'm gonna set it to bulge. And I'm gonna actually just trim it down to a couple of frames. So somewhere here. I'm gonna animate it from 0, and then to the end it'll be 50. So 0, 50 at the end, 0 at the back. So play. I'm gonna just change the label to green so you guys can see it. So I'm gonna play at the back. And you can see there's that bow, and then because I need to fix the timing, so we can fix the timing of the warping to review the text, right? And we're just gonna select all our keyframes, just convert it back to linear, and keyframe assistant, very easy ease out, and let's see if we were to play it. So it's going to, let's play it here. It's gonna go really fast. So we can also move our keyframes to the back, backward, somewhere here. And I forgot to select one more over here. Gotta make sure you select all the keyframes. Let's move it to the back. So we want it to be the final moment, should be somewhere. You can select the keyframe and using Option or Alt on Windows using arrow key right to move the key to nudge the keyframe by 1 frame. So this is kind of like where I want to end up. Like for my final. Okay, actually no, somewhere here. And if you go to if you go to my keyframes for my uninspired, I have to animate the position and the scale to get it correctly. So this really takes time. So again, you need to be patient. So let's see if I can just try to cheat it. I guess not, but I can just to quickly redo it. I think it doesn't line up because it's a different setup this time around. But the process goes like this. I'm going to just get rid of the position and scale keyframe. And let's put a position. So you want to start at a real known number. So as it's opening up, you want to increase it and then just shift it properly into the middle. So, and then the scale up like that. And let's go down. So at this point, it should actually review at the end of this over here. We want to just hide all the rows. So we can actually just trim it, select all the rows. At this, so at this frame, that's option square bracket. So when it goes to the next frame, it will review everything. So this should be 100. And also, I also want to trim the WAP. Let's play it for now. Yes. So you got to make sure you align the position of the uninspired correctly in the middle. So this will be different for everyone doing this tutorial. So you have to change scale. You might have to do it for frame by frame, but try your best to use as little keyframe as possible. Say for example like this, you gotta readjust it like that and scale it down to 4%. There we go. So let's play it. And right now it looks very abrupt. That's because we still need to animate. Once it reaches the center, for about after 2 frames, we want to animate the scale going a little bit higher up to, let's see, let me open up my title action save, up to the action save. So something like that. So it looks natural, still stretching. And so you can play around with the timing. And we're done. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Please like, share, subscribe so this video can get to more people. If you're interested in getting my tutorial project files, you can do so by making a monthly donation to my Patreon. Alright, that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you next time.